Hello, my loves. If you are here, that means that you just got a brand new pair of roller skates and you were asking yourself the age-old question, now what? Don't worry, I will be your roller skate spirit guide. My name is Deja. I've been skating for about 2 years. You've probably seen my videos all over Instagram. And that is because of my mission to get as many people as possible on roller skates. With that being said, welcome to Roller Skates 101. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know as a beginner, all of the things that I wish that I would have known from the jump when it came to my skates. We're going to unbox a brand new pair of roller skates. I'm going to show you what comes in the box, what's normal, what's not normal, give you some ideas about what you might want to change on your skates as soon as you get them. Then we're going to cover some basic maintenance like how and when to clean your bearings, how to change your wheels out. We're going to put it all in one nice little video just to make sure that you can focus on skating. Welcome to the club, bestie. These are Moxie Lollies. Now, not all skates are created equal, but I'm going to tell you what should come inside of a good box of skates. A good box of skates should come with the skates themselves, the actual boot. Aren't these hella pretty? They should also come with laces, and they should come with a skate tool so that you're actually able to adjust their skates. So if you have these elements, you're usually good to go. Sometimes you'll also have like an owner's manual that'll go into basics about like how to keep your skates clean specifically for that model, all that fun stuff. But you should definitely make sure that you have laces and a skate tool. Your skate tool is going to make it so that you're able to adjust certain parts of your skate, like your toe stops and your wheels. That's what's going to come inside of the box. Let's talk about what's normal versus what's not normal. A lot of skates, especially ones that are suede, they might come with little scuffs and things like that that are easy for you to brush out just because of the type of material it is. But you should never see like dark scrapes. You should never see digging or gouging or anything like that. If that's something that's on your skates, then you should like definitely send them back. Things that like get rubbed against in transit, things that are super easy to kind of like brush out. That is typical. So please don't think that your skates are damaged or screwed up if you see that. All of your stitches should be good. They shouldn't be dirty. They shouldn't look used. There shouldn't be any scuffs or anything. You know what brand new skates would look like. So we're making sure everything looks good. The next thing that we want to pay attention to straight out of the box is how we're lacing our skates. There's many ways to lace your skate. When it comes to the way that your boot is supposed to fit, you should never feel any pain at all. The way that I like to lace my skates is just to come right over the top here and then crisscross on the outside of my skate. I'll just come over like that and I'll go all the way up to the top. It doesn't seem like it's important, but the way that you lace your skates can change your entire skate experience. Sometimes if you lace too tightly around here, it'll cause pain in your feet or it'll cause tongue slippage. So basically you want to make sure that your laces are laced in a way that prevents your tongues from sliding. Some skates will actually have like a little tongue grip thing. I forgot what it's called. And if your skates do have that, then you're going to want to make sure that you actually loop them through the second to last hole and then through the tongue grabber just to make sure that your tongue does not slide. So we're going to lace these up just so that you can see what the finished product will look like. Boots all laced up, as you can see, they'll just crisscross applesauce. You don't want your laces so tight that they're cutting off your circulation, but you don't want them so loose that your ankle is wobbly. Ankle stabilization is going to be extremely important, especially as a beginner. So make sure that you actually use the loops at the top to make it tighter. If you're finding that while you're skating, your tongue is sliding to the side, it might be the way that you are lacing your skates. Let's break down parts of your skate. This is your boot. The boot is the main part of the skate that covers your foot and provides support. Roller skates, quad skates typically have 4 wheels, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. They're usually made of polyurethane and other materials, and the size and the hardness is going to vary depending on the type of skating that you're doing. These bad boys are your trucks. The trucks are the metal part that connects the wheels to the boot. Trucks are very important. They're going to be something that you want to keep top of mind. If you are struggling with turning or pivoting, your trucks might be just a little bit too tight and you need to adjust them to your setting. I have a video on how to loosen your trucks and I will link it in the description. Bearings. Bearings are the tiny little components that sit inside of your wheels, and they're actually what allows your wheel to spin. All wheels are going to have bearings on the inside and the outside. The plate is that flat metal part that sits in between the boot and the trucks. It provides additional stability and support. So if you're a brand new skater, it's actually not a bad gig to have a heavier plate because it'll prevent you from going hella fast before your body's ready or you know what you're doing. The trucks are the metal parts that connect the boots to the wheel. The kingpin is the bolt that holds the truck onto the plate. It can be adjusted to tighten or loosen the trucks. Your cushions are the small rubber pieces that sit between the truck and the plate. It's going to provide shock absorption, and they can be changed to adjust the tightness of your trucks. That's the basics of your skates. I hope that you remembered all of that because there's going to be a pop quiz at the end. I'm just kidding, but it's super important to know that so you know what's happening with your skates and you know what you can change or modify to your liking. These are some of the things that I do when I get a brand new pair of skates. The first thing I usually do is change out the plate. Usually I'll change it to something lighter, but because these Moxy Lollies already come with a really good plate, I'll just keep these ones. Next thing I would do, depending on what these skates are going to be for, is I would swap the wheels to indoor or outdoor. These are actually really good stock wheels. I love their size and they're hella pretty. But I know that I want these kind of to be like my outdoor spring wheels. I would change these to something a little bit more hybrid. My favorite type of outdoor wheel or hybrid wheel are these luminous wheels that are super cute and they light up. The wheels are the first thing that I would change out. That way I have a dedicated pair of skates for the outdoors. The next piece that I would change out would be the toe stop. I've been skating for a little while now and I know that I like to skate using jam plugs. And so if I wanted to change it, this is a hex bolt toe stop. You actually have to remove the bolt to take the toe stop off. But I'd go ahead and just remove this toe stop and then I would insert some jam plugs inside of here. You don't want to just take your toe stop out and put nothing there. Dirt can get inside, and if you're skating indoors at the rink, it can scratch up the rink. But I would definitely change this out for some jam plugs, which I'm still waiting in the mail for. Having those toe stops makes it easier to do certain like jam movements, like crazy legs, dips, toe spins, all of that fun stuff. So I would definitely swap out this piece. Other than that, we are good to go. If you're ever in a situation you need to change your wheel, what you're going to do is either use the tool that came with it, or you could just purchase a skate tool. I'll have this one linked in my bio if this is something that you're interested in. This is my favorite one. It has different sizes because I have different skates, and for some reason they all take something a little bit different. I also like it because even though this skate came with this tool, I'm not able to use this to easily adjust my trucks. So rather than me fighting with it, I'll just use something like this. All you're going to do, use your tool to remove the nut. I like to set them in a cup or somewhere so that I don't lose it, and then pay attention that we have two bearings in here. The easy way that I do it so I can just keep going when I swap wheels, I put the wheel onto the truck, and rather than letting it sit all the way down, I stop it before it sits down and I just lift it back towards me, and that allows me to remove the bearing. So we got one out and I want to remove the second one. So I just lift it out towards me and I use that momentum. These ones specifically have a magnet inside, and that's actually what makes them light up. So just make sure to keep that inside. And all I would do is I would just push the wheel down onto that bearing, and I'd make sure that it's nice and stuck in there, and that pushes one, and then I'd flip it over and boom. Now we have both in there. Just make sure that it's seated all the way down, and then I would retighten. The last thing that you want is for your wheel to fall off while you're skating. And I've had it happen before. It's not fun. You don't want it so tight that it causes your skate to slow down or not be able to move, but you don't want it so loose that it's making noise. Once I change out the wheels, the final thing that I would just change, it's not necessarily change out, but I would modify, is I would adjust my trucks. Adjusting your trucks changes your entire skate experience. That way you can dial in your skates as soon as possible and you're not held back, or if your skates are too stiff, listening, your trucks will probably help you lean and shift your weight so that you can gain more control over your skates. Let's say we've had our skates for a couple of months, they're starting to get real beat up, a little filthy, especially with these lighter colors. You can buy a suede cleaner. Here is an example that I've used before. This one is Easy Cleaner by Angelus brand. And to clean it, you'll need a soft bristle brush or even a toothbrush. You can even use like a suede brush or a magic eraser. First, you're going to remove any loose dirt or debris that you might have, and you're going to make sure you do that by just brushing in one direction. And honestly, before you cover your whole boot, it might be best to just put the suede cleaner on like a small inconspicuous part. That way you can see what it will do to your boot after it dries before you go ahead and cover the whole thing. Again, I'm trying to save you from mistakes that I made. I have used this suede cleaner in the past without any issues, but you definitely want to test it on a small area first. Once you feel pretty confident that the cleaner is not going to damage your boot, you're going to rub the cleaner all over. And then after cleaning, you're going to use a clean, dry towel to gently remove any of the excess cleaner that might be left over. After that, you're going to brush the suede out once again, and that's going to help to restore the original texture. That's it. Easy peasy. Oh, 2 bonus tips. If your skates are suede, another thing that I also did, just because I live in Nashville, you probably shouldn't be skating in the rain. I'd avoid it. It gets very slippery. There's actually like suede proof. It'll just turn your skates waterproof. Again, trying to save you money. If you were getting bored with your skates, rather than you going out and buying a brand new pair of skates, just go buy some Rit dye and change up the color a little bit. I haven't tried making it lighter, but I know for sure I've taken some lilac skates and I made them a deep dark purple. That came out absolutely beautiful. You can find that dye on Amazon. I will also link that in the description box. So let's talk about how and when to clean your bearings. So one, how do you know when it's time to clean your bearings? Well, you'll be able to visibly look at them. If you hear any crunchy noises, it might be time to clean your bearings. If you can visibly see gunk, it might be time to clean your bearings. If you have any problem with your wheels rotating at all, it might be time to clean your bearings. Your bearings are going to get filthy at a rink, but if there's any problems that cause a lack of smoothness, then it's probably time to clean your bearings, and it's super easy. Normally I clean them maybe every 2 to 3 months, but bearings are inexpensive enough that I will just buy new bearings if push came to shove. But I think it's important to know how to clean them if you're in a situation where you can't buy new bearings right now. Something that works really well is just some degreaser, some arch degreaser. I got this off of Amazon. It's just multi-purpose. They use it on cars, so there's no issue with it for your skates. So then you can just cop one of these super easy bearing cleaners, and it allows you to just clean all of your bearings at once by taking them out of your boot the same way that we did a little bit earlier, attaching them to this rod. Then you'll pour your degreaser inside, close it up, and then you'll start shaking it, and you'll be able to visibly see all of the muck and grime that will come off of these. Once all of that muck and grime is off, you can just lay them out on a paper towel. Once they dry, don't forget to lube them up. That way you can get rolling nice and smooth again. If manual labor is not your jam, or you are a baller shot caller, you can just buy new bearings. Okay, that is it, my loves. Those are the basics that you need to know as a beginner to get you rolling. Go ahead and drop any other questions that you have in the comment box and I will get them answered. Again, my goal is to get as many people roller skating as possible. So I'm very, very glad that you were here, and I will see you in the next one.